Greetings viewers, KJ here, and we are back with another Robot Arena 2 video. And this time we're going to be doing another AI versus AI versus AI tournament with the robots from the Robot Rampage League. And this time we're going to be using the middleweights for the competition. And there is a situation because one of the middleweights is a multi-bot. One of the fights will be a one-on-one between the multi-bot and a single other robot, and one of the rumbles will be a four-way rumble. So let's get straight into it. That's the wrong setting. We want Battle Royal on that arena. And let's start with the first fight, which is my robots. I don't want those ones. Let's start with the first match, which features the iconic Sludge, known for throwing itself out of the arena, the Storm Lab, Indiana's Iron Curtain, the vertical wall with 6 ram plates and a single pulse spike on a piston, and the two of them are going to have to deal with Meta's Creighton. There could potentially be 2 ring outs, there could be a sludge fest here, or the absolute impossible could happen and Creighton could lose. Let's see how it goes, shall we? And Creighton targets the Iron Curtain first. Is under the Iron Curtain, doing damage, throwing the Iron Curtain. Has ripped a ram plate off. Sludge is damaging Creighton from behind. Creighton's attention is now turned to Sludge. The Iron Curtain is helpless. Creighton has resumed attacking Iron Curtain. Sludge is attacking Creighton. Has taken a wheel off of the Iron Curtain. And Creighton has taken a wheel off itself. So Creighton is in big trouble here. Creighton and the Iron Curtain are both crippled, and Sludge is in an unlikely situation where it could potentially win. It's taking Creighton's other wheel off. So Creighton is going to lose. I said the impossible could happen. And it looks like that's going to happen, as Creighton is getting TKO counted and Sludge is attacking the Iron Curtain now. And Creighton is out. And Iron Curtain is on control board hits. Iron Curtain is on its last control board hit. Sludge couldn't be in a better position. Sludge keeps overcorrecting. If Sludge can get a straight charge, it can get the last control board hit. Sludge wins that fight, and Creighton, who with Sludge and Iron Curtain in the melee with it, had really 2 of the easiest opponents, and it lost. Partly because of clumsy driving, taking its own wheel off into the grinder. Well, the unlikely outcome happened, and Creighton is out, Sludge is through, and as we move on to the next one, which is Spinning Cage of Death for Team Evian, Planetary Conqueror from Team Smash, and the Armchair Engineers Mini Berserker. So that's another unlikely possibility of Spinning Cage of Death winning this, but that seems far less likely. And I've just realised that all three of them are horizontal spinners. Who will come out on top of this one? Mini B initially Planetary Conqueror just took a weapon off of Mini Berserker immediately. That's the other one gone. Mini Berserker defenseless already. And Spinning Cage of Death is having parts of its cage removed by Planetary Conqueror. Mini Berserker just rather helplessly throwing itself around. The cage is having parts removed surgically. And I never noticed there were razor tips in Planetary Conqueror's wedge. Planetary Conqueror is pushing Spinning Cage of Death against the wall. Mini Berserker is trying to get some harmless shots on the Conqueror, and Mini Berserker has now lost a wheel. Spinning Cage of Death is on control board hits and is dead. Mini Berserker very soon to follow. Mini Berserker utilising wheel physics to try and get away. The last wheel comes off. Another control board hit. And another one. And that's it. Planetary Conqueror, very routine victory there. Very routine, very handily done. And we move very swiftly on to the next one, which features Dramatic of the Robot Rebels, Orlando Commandos Q, and Hive Academy's Gizmo. Now, my money's on Q for this one, but if Sludge can overcome Creighton with a little help from Iron Curtain, then anything's possible. And Gizmo goes straight after Dramatic. Q is just bumbling its way over there and is now going to start spinning. Gizmo and Dramatic trading blows with Q and then each other. Dramatic has lost a wheel and for some reason isn't moving. And it's lost the other wheel. Well, Dramatic's out of it now. Gizmo is overcorrecting. There is a count for Dramatic and a count for Q because of Sit and Spin AI, which means... Oh, flipping Q broke the count. And Gizmo is putting itself through control board hits. Q and 2 wheels off of Gizmo, 3 wheels off of Gizmo and the last control board hit. Q very nearly screwed itself up. But Q wins. Q so nearly lost because of the Sit and Spin AI. But because Gizmo was so close to it, or in fact it may have been because there was a third robot in Gizmo in the fight, which meant that Q was going to break the count and target Gizmo instead. And we move on to the next one, which is Sinister Creation Cycloid. Cleansing of River City Robotics. And Overthrown of Pink Chaos. Now, if cleansing wins this, I'm going to eat my hat, and I don't have a hat. Got two front hinge flippers, one with two spike strips, one with one. And overthrown and cleansing in a bit of a microwave. Cleansing and cycloid targeting overthrown here. They want the big power bot out of the fight as soon as possible. Overthrown struggling to right itself. It finally has righted itself. It's now going after cleansing. Cleansing backed into the grinder. Overthrown under cleansing, throwing cleansing into the air. Cleansing is smashed to bits. And a wheel off of overthrown thanks to cycloid. Cleansing is out of it. I didn't realise that cycloid is upside down and overthrown is on control board hits. And overthrown is out of it. That was 55 seconds. And cycloid, the pincers put pay to overthrown. Overthrown overthrew cleansing, but cycloid is the last one standing. So cycloid moves on, and we are going to do the fifth fight. We're on to the fifth one already, which is galactic fabrication of Valley View Robotics Club. We've got the Moscow Mantines OMG It's Dollar Store Razor. We have Drigger for wherever the Baltimore Kestrels are. And we have the C Team's Explicit Equation. Explicit Equation could very easily win this, but it's also got three machines to contend with, one of which can pincer it from above, one of which can attack from the front, and the other can throw it up from underneath. So can EE overcome the other three? We'll see. And EE is going for galactic fabrication, and Drigger lost a spike to Razor already. There are two personal battles going on here. And Razor has lost its spike to Drigger. Razor still has the strip underneath. Drigger has lost half its claw piston weapon. Explicit Equation has changed targets and galactic fabrication is trying to pounce on that. Razor is battering Drigger from underneath. Galactic Fabrication has lost a flipper and has lost the other flipper. So now it is just a wedge that could very easily fall over. It is upside down, it cannot right itself. Drigger with half a claw is trying to attack Razor. The Explicit Equation is taking on the pair of them. And Galactic Fabrication has been counted out, immobilized. And Drigger has had a wheel taken off. And Drigger is out of it, and there are bits falling off left, right, and centre, and the game is lagging. Razor is just a wedge. And game over for OMG, it's Dollar Store Razor. And as kind of expected, Explicit Equation wins. So now we go on to the final one, which has to be done as a team match due to the way the game handles certain matchup typings. So we need to find Siege of Kinetic Creatures. And then we go over to Heavy Metal Robotics, Heartbreak, and Seance. the mini-bot. One little piston poker, one little flipping arm against one four-arm vertical spinner with spiked clubs. And Siege targeted Seance first, and has flipped Seance over. Is still targeting Seance while Heartbreak is trying to get in the middle of the chassis gap. These two had a fight of the week winning fight on, I think it was week 17 of the official Robot Rampage League regular season, where Siege tore them to pieces, but then Seance, the wedge, managed to get under Siege and pin it to the grinder. And they are confined to that area again. Someone's getting counted out, and I have no idea who that was. Seance is upside down, and the flipper has been broken, so it cannot right itself. And Siege is destroying Heartbreak, has destroyed Heartbreak, and Seance has been counted out. So Siege wins much more convincingly that time. Well, of course it was more convincingly. It lost in the regular season to those two. So now we go back to the Battle Royal. And we go to the first semi-final, which features, so in a sense, 5 of the 6 semi-finalists are machines you would expect to be there, and then there's Sludge, which managed to get past Creighton. Creighton screwed up big time in that first round. So we have Sludge, Q, and Planetary Conqueror. I don't see Sludge winning this. Not unless Planetary Conqueror and Q target each other a rather large amount and cripple each other weapon-wise, allowing Sludge to land some attacks without fear. But I don't see that happening. And Planetary Conqueror and Q do target each other to start. And Planetary Conqueror has lost a wheel already. Sludge is trying to beat them both up. Sludge has lost a wheel. And has lost another wheel. On the basis of this, I can see Planetary Conqueror has now got a skew with wheel alignment because it's lost one back wheel and one front wheel. And Q is on control board hits to boot. And Planetary Conqueror's lost another wheel, but Q has been destroyed. Don't be stupid here, Sludge. Sludge is likely going to lose this fight simply because it won't leave Planetary Conqueror alone. And it did. It lost because it wouldn't leave Planetary Conqueror alone. Where it could have very much won. Because Planetary Conqueror had one wheel left and Q was dead. God damn it, Sludge. You and the AI in general just doesn't know when to stop. So in the second one we have Cycloid, Explicit Equation, and Siege. Where is the C team? And where is kinetic creatures? Who will take this one? Siege and Explicit Equation are going to target each other first. Cycloid takes advantage of that. They're both targeting Explicit Equation now, or trying to. Explicit Equation has lost a wheel already. Now it's a Siege and Cycloid fight. And Siege has lost a wheel now. So now we've got two cripples here. And now Cycloid has lost a wheel, so all three of them have lost a wheel each. The question is, who's going to be the first to lose a second wheel? Cycloid, leave it alone. Leave it alone, Cycloid. Leave it alone. That is incredible. No, you knocked it down, you flipping moron. That would have been the most extraordinary TKO I've ever seen, and you ruined it. Cycloid has lost both pincers. Explicit Equation is having the biggest mobility trouble. And Siege is just... This is going to go the full 3 minutes, and I have no idea who's going to win. Because Siege is the only one... The Siege... Well, they can all still damage each other, but it's a question of who's going to flipping drive in the right direction. Because they just sit there and spin until the 10 count starts, and then they break the count, and then they start spinning again. Cycloid is on control board hits now because it an Explicit Equation, and Siege just lost its last wheel. Explicit Equation is somehow driving better now. And has knocked out Siege outright. And has knocked out Cycloid. Explicit Equation flipping getting lucky there. And that leaves the final being between Planetary Conqueror and Explicit Equation. So Team Smash, I need Team Smash. Who will win this? Who will win this? Will mathematics win, or will a machine that conquers planets win? On the basis of this, it seems like the answer's pretty obvious. Was there ever any doubt, really? When once Cycloid knocked... Explicit Equation was 2 seconds from being out in the semi-final, but Cycloid knocked it down, got it back in the fight. It came back to win that fight by knocking both Cycloid and Siege out, and has now won the final. I have some choice words for you, EE, but not really going to say that in camera. So I hope you enjoyed the little middleweight Robot Rampage League AI versus AI tournament. If you liked it, hit the like button. If you want to see more, hit subscribe and maybe the bell icon as well to get notifications of when future videos come out. Yeah, that'll be it. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.